Dun, 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 dun.
Success.
Yes, when you get things right, it makes you really, really excited.
Yeah.
And today I'm telling you, I'm so excited for so many different reasons. It looks like we are live. So now I just need to make sure that I get things going. Hold on, Courtney. I think I got it. I think I got it. Like it shows
I'm
me
super
dancing and stuff.
excited.
Okay, so now where is the button on Facebook to make it go? Because I don't want to have that back. Oh, there it goes. Yes. Okay, Courtney, we're ready.
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. Hold on, Courtney Beasley. Hi, Courtney Beasley.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm so good.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you today. Hello, Facebook family. I hope everybody is enjoying this beautiful Thursday. Do you guys believe it's already the 16th of January? Like we're already the second week into the new year. Time is just flying. I want to thank you so much for joining me today on Fit for Business. I'm excited to be here. We tried to bring it to you last week with Dr. Cortney Beasley, but we ran into some technical difficulties. Please check your connection. Right now I'm getting a note. It says your speaker is not working.
Yeah, it's a little like staticky.
Is it really like I'm coming across statically? I hope it's okay.
Sometimes, but right now you're okay.
Okay, good. Well, I hope it's okay, and I hope everybody can hear us. I'm not sure who is joining in, but I'll give people a few minutes to kind of chime in. I did invite a few friends and family, and I put a note up about 30 minutes ago inviting those who are online to join us in this discussion as I get to interview this awesome queen, Cortney Beasley. So we're going to see who's going to be joining on. Matter of fact, bear with me 2 seconds because I want to do this really quickly. Hold on. I'm going to mute me for a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Well, I think I am.
Who is she talking to? Cheryl, are you talking to me?
I just want to make sure somebody's online and can hear us. So I was trying to use my phone, but it won't let me dial.
I know someone can hear us. Someone just
They can hear us? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So welcome everybody to this live broadcast. First and foremost, my name is Cheryl Grant and I'm with Cheryl Grant Enterprises. I have launched a company actually in 2006, but officially in 2017. My business is all about coaching. I do executive coaching, individual coaching, and I offer programs, 60-day programs. I have one-on-one coaching programs and webinars. And basically what my passion is really about empowering women, and especially women of color, to have just monumental breakthroughs in everything that they're doing in their life so they can be the most audacious that they can be. I work a lot with entrepreneurs, and we have a couple of exciting events that are going to be coming up that I can't wait to share with you. But tonight, we are going to be talking to the one and the only Dr. Cortney Beasley, who is...
You're a little staticky, and I want to make sure they heard that.
Okay. Please ask them. Can you get feedback, please? Thank you. From yours, because I don't see anybody on board.
Oh, yeah, there's people watching. Can you guys hear us? Will you let me know?
I see one attendee thus far. Please do chat.
Facebook, I think.
Okay, good. Okay, awesome. Let me know, please, if you...
Someone asked if you can look in your comments on Facebook.
Okay, so I'm going to switch back to Facebook. Hold on. Rhonda, I can hear you. Awesome. Yay! Okay, awesome. Yay! You guys don't even understand the trauma that we've gone through trying to use this particular tool. I've used other tools, but this is my first time using this one.
Well,
So Courtney really is she studied in the field of psychology, specifically with clinical and forensic psychology. And this mastermind here, and I do mean, we got to step back and really lift up our queens. And I mean us as a community. It gives me great pride to work with them. They give me all kind of joy. They keep me honest. They tell me what they think, sometimes when I want to hear it and sometimes when I don't, but it's always from the heart. And but what I most admire is their tenacity. And Courtney, thank you for coming on board and having this interview with me. I want to thank you for your time. How are you?
Thank you. I'm excited.
You're excited that we're actually finally doing this,
yes,
right?
No, this has been like a journey, so I'm very excited. I'm excited to hear that people are watching, and yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yes, it is. So I hope everybody got their favorite drink. So this is my queen cup. I hope y'all can see it. I got my tea. Yours truly has been battling the flu bug for about 8 days. I've taken Dayquil, NyQuil, Theraflu, Day flu, night flu, all the different elements trying to get prepared. But I'm here, Courtney, and I'm here with you. And this is now really, I want to learn about you, Courtney. I want the world to know. I've happened to get to know you for many different reasons. But I'm just going to start off by saying that Courtney's auntie, who is on here, Athena Allen, whom is a high school friend and sister and family for me, it connected me with Courtney, and we've been attached at the hip ever since. And Courtney, I thank her for that. You have been a true gift to me. But right now, Courtney, we're going to talk about you.
Okay.
So, Courtney, so tell me why psychology? Why did you decide to do psychology?
So I knew you were going to ask this, and I still don't really have a solid answer. But I think, at different points in my life, my answer changes, right? Like when I was younger, it was because I want to help people. And I think it turned into because I like the aspect of like putting a puzzle together, kind of like hearing people's stories and trying to make sense of it. And right now it's really been about just like, I really value human connection. I value educating other people with like using my knowledge and my experiences in school and just in life. And it's pretty powerful too, when you give people the tools to just live healthier lives and to understand themselves better and the different factors that contributed to how they are. So.
Well, Courtney, I find that so fascinating. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love and adore about you. And especially that connection and that human connection. And we'll dive into that a little deeper. But, I really want this to be an opportunity. And please, for the audience, please do dive in and ask questions.
And you have to look at your Facebook comments to see their questions.
Yeah, this is going to be the interesting thing between the two, because the way that Zoom works, it's like a delayed response on Facebook. So I'll check back in to make sure you guys are asking questions. In the future, what I'll do is send you the link to Zoom so that you can download Zoom or have access to be attendee within the webinar to better ask questions and do better polling. So I'll do a better job of that in the future. So thank you, Courtney. I just checked, I didn't see any questions. But Courtney, there's a lot of young women that are out there. Yeah. And Courtney, you were how old when you got your doctorate degree?
I was 29.
You're 29 years old. So Courtney, I just want to understand the process.
Yeah, I just said that like it was so long ago.
Yeah, really, she's 30 now.
Not longer.
But no, but Courtney, I really want to understand the process, because there's a lot of young ladies out there that are searching and they're looking and they want to know like what direction to go in. So for you, number one, how long did you have to go to school?
So including undergrad, so including college, and then I'm just going to include it all, college, and then I had a couple years just to build up my resume. So that's like, including the couple years I took off, that would be like 11 years, but just in school, that'd be 9 years. Cause you go 4 years undergrad, and then my program was 5 years, and then I was done.
Right, so didn't you have to do your master's too? So you did undergrad and master's? Did you do master's?
Right, so I did my master's as I was getting my doctorate degree. So there's a point where you take a test And once you pass the test, you get your master's degree, and then you keep moving forward. And then once you finish your dissertation and your internship, then you are Dr. Cortney Beasley.
Wait a minute, at 30 years old, y'all, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, you know I'm not sorry. I just think that's so to be congratulated. Courtney, that takes a lot of grit, which I tell people all the time. It takes a lot of mental prowess. A lot of things that I talk about in my program is about being mentally fit, right? Fit standing for faith, intuition, and tenacity. I'm sure you had to use all of that along that journey to get you through college. And I want to know, Courtney, what got you through? I can't imagine. I just can't. You had to give some girls some advice. What was that for you?
I know. Yeah, because it's really hard, especially being a Black woman, and I was in a program that was mostly white, and then psychology is mostly white anyway. So it was definitely hard. I mean, of course, God and prayer and all that, and then the phone calls to my mom where she would read me a Bible verse, and then my dad, I'd just be bawling like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I didn't pass this test, and really feeling like it was like that was defining my worth. Like, I didn't pass the test, therefore I'm dumb, right? Or therefore like something's wrong with me. So it took really like being around people who helped me feel grounded and not getting caught up in the hype of being in school, and especially like being in school in the Bay Area and in my program where I was specifically, just feeling like it was this bubble of just like people being really high achievers, and that's all that mattered. And if you weren't high achieving, then like what was the point of, like, what was your purpose? So,
wow, yeah. the pressure of it all, and to sustain it. That's why I say as often as I can, I introduce her. That's the first thing before I even tell her name. And is I don't do it for the sake of the title of doctor. I know the work and what you had to put in order to get there, and to do it at your age. And I just think that's so valuable that people really get that and understand that about you. But you went on this life's journey and you committed 11 years, and you went through, as you just said, a lot of trials in terms of not only being in a world that's predominantly doesn't look anything like you, that doesn't understand necessarily all the things that you have to go through in order to be who they are, that may not have the same privileges or the same, opportunities, and you still persevered. And to get through that, that's a lot.
Yeah, and it's interesting too to talk about it right now after, like I'm done. And then I worked for a year, and now I'm in this new place of just a space I've never been in, where I'm not in school. I'm not in like a structured, like the typical traditional psychology career at the moment. So it's interesting to reflect on it and be like, damn, like, yeah, that was my life. Like I was really stressed, and I was really like this, just putting a lot of weight on what it meant for me to be to get my doctorate degree.
So now you've gone through this journey, and let's dig into that a little bit, because I find your story very, 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 very not only inspiring, intriguing, but definitely something that can be a lesson to all of us who are going through our life. And we get to a point now, you put 11 years in hard work, going through mental terrain that you probably never experienced. And talk about the work that you did so that people can get an understanding of, once you graduated, what kind of work you were actually doing.
Can I start with while I was in school?
Sure, absolutely.
So part of so for clinical psychology, part of your program is to actually practice, therapy with people. And so originally I started working with kids. So I've worked in hospitals and high school, and I've generally focused on kids who are underrepresented, so like low income or like racial minorities or things like that. And then after that, I had an internship at a state hospital. So I got to do some forensic work. So forensic psychology is just like the intersection of psychology and our justice system. So that's like the people who do like court evaluations, or they do evaluations in the jail to see if someone's fit to be in the community, or if they need to be in a hospital, or So then after that, I pursued that more because I'd wanted to do forensic psychology for a while. So I graduated, and I didn't do like the traditional fellowship either. I always go I guess the road less traveled. I guess that's just kind of
like me, Courtney.
um,
Sounds like me. It's okay, baby. It's okay.
So I graduated. I had like a month or so off. I think it was like a month or two. And then I got a job in forensic psychology, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, like I got what I wanted. And I was writing court reports all the time. And I was, getting a better understanding of how the system works here in California, because my last position was in Massachusetts. So yeah, and it quickly became, I learned a lot. Like I definitely got what I wanted from it in terms of learning more about our systems.
Right. And you had some highs along your journey, right? I mean, you talked about Boston, that it was an amazing experience and all that you learned while you were in Boston. And Boston, again, in an environment which predominantly you don't see us, I would imagine.
No,
I would imagine, right?
No. Yep.
I've been to Boston before. I mean, I love Boston, but
I mean, we're there, but yeah, you're right.
Right. But you had some of the most amazing experiences there, correct?
Yeah, and throughout my journey, of course, there's always like beautiful moments, and it's hard too, like both.
Right.
Yeah.
And so along this journey, you started working with patients, and some of the patients that you were working with, when it kind of is there any way, and I don't want to step on any terrain that you as ethically, I know that there's guidelines and things that you can't say, but as much as you can expand upon the type of individuals that you were working with, I think would be helpful for the audience to understand.
Yes. So like I said before, I'm mostly focused on, well, I didn't get specific, but really just our community. The Black community is really where I was really putting my effort, like in terms of research and my clinical work. So the people that I most recently worked with most of them had spent their lives in and out of like jail, prison, state hospitals. And a lot of them had experiences with like severe mental disorders, like the kind of stuff that many people would be like, what, how could you work with that? Which I got a lot, like if people are hearing voices, or if they're, they're not in touch with reality, or they're not able to care for themselves. And that was what I did most recently for the last couple of years.
Yeah. And I can imagine working in that environment over a sustained any period of time can be taxing on you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually too. Just, doing that kind of work. I don't know. I've never done that kind of work, but I can imagine.
Yeah, because I think, so in therapy in general, like for anybody listening, and if for those of you who are seeing a therapist or who want to, or thought about it, or whatever your mindset is about it, it's, I think people forget that we're human too. And so when we're taught, like in training, it's kind of like the sense of like, we're supposed to act as if we're not. At least that's my interpretation of it. And I'm someone who definitely can't do that. Cheryl, you know that.
You're good. You're good.
So yeah, it's hard to see people suffering. It's hard to see people go through cycles, like it's the same thing over and over. And a lot of it has to do with how our systems are set up. Like there's no way you're going to succeed when you're a part of the system that is really designed for you to fail. So
wow,
that hurt. And I think that's one of the, I know that's one of the biggest reasons why I left my last job, because I'm like, I'm supposed to be using my voice in a different way, because in the system I was in, it was like going nowhere. And I feel like there's other ways for me to influence change in a positive way.
Well, one of the things I love about Courtney is the one thing that I can count on from her is her honesty and speaking from her heart. And when I met Courtney, one of the things that, and Courtney, I hope you don't mind me sharing, and if I start sharing too much, just put your hands up like this. Not that part, no. But one of the things that I think it'll be really critical for the audience to understand, because as an adult, I mean, we have an age gap. Courtney's 30, I'm 58. And there's things that I learned.
Everybody just went, what?
Well, those who know me know that I have no shame in my game. It is what it is. And I'm so grateful and thankful to be alive and to have the experiences that I do with you and all the millennials that I work with. You guys are all amazing to me. But you teach me so much, as well as I know we teach each other. But one of the things I was going to go with is that when we first met, one of the things that you were really looking for was connection. And you were really looking for a community that really supported you as an African American woman.
Right.
And not feeling a need to have to get into an environment like so often for us as African American women. And I'll speak for myself at 58 for sure, that we're trying to acquiesce in a system that wasn't designed to truly support us the way that we deserve to be supported. And so our connection then went rapidly, and you joined my FIT program. Well, first of all, Cortney is helping me also with my foundation, the EKM Foundation, but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about Cortney today and her journey. And she did go through my FIT program. And in that program, one of the goals, we have a 60-day program, and you set a goal. What is it that you want to achieve? And Cortney, what was your goal in the program?
It was to leave my last job. And
Cortney, what did you do?
I left.
Yeah! You guys, you know what? That's some jewels. Cortney, hold on. I'm just going to pause there for a minute to make sure nobody has any questions, okay? So just hold on a second. I'm going to switch screens here.
Questions.
Guys, please do ask questions. We'd love to hear from you. I could see you here, but please do ask questions as they come up, because we want this to be interactive. So here goes my thing. You spend 11 years, you bust your behind, you go through all the hurdles and jump over the hoops. You become a doctor. You find the job you love. And then you're sitting in that job and you're like, it's not feeding me.
Right.
What is one to do?
Leave.
Like Cortney, quit. Some people might say that's crazy. And I say, no, it's not.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And what is the most, tell me some of the things that people said to you, Cortney.
So some people before I even got out the sentence of like, I'm gonna leave, they're like, no, don't do that. Like, you're not, like, why would you do that? Don't do that when you don't have something else lined up. So it took me months to be like, no, I'm doing this because of the way I was feeling, because of the way it affected my health, because of what I'm speaking to the people I worked with, the patients that I worked with, about taking care of yourself and doing things that feed your soul. And if your body's off and all of that, and this is consistently happening, why are you going to keep doing the same thing? So I'd be a hypocrite if I would have stayed there. And also, like, keeping in mind too, the way that I was feeling affects my work too. And I care about the people that I work with. I don't want to show up and not really be there. And I don't want to do anything to jeopardize, their progress and their treatment. So that was a big part of it. But in terms of people saying no, like even my dad was like, Cortney, I don't want to have to worry about you financially. And then I left, and both of my parents were like, we're so proud. Like, that takes courage, and you stepped out on faith. And my dad was like, that's something I wish, or kind of like he wanted to do that when he was younger. But this fear that we all have, because it's like, well, but how is it going to work out, right? That uncertainty, and you could quickly be like, okay, I don't want to feel that. And I was just like, well, I'm just going to be up in here. I'm going to swim in it. I'm about to live my life.
But unfortunately, it took me 30 years. And I guess the messaging that I want to say to everybody else is that it's very important that we align ourselves with things that feed us. I've been given advice. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do. And I'll say that there's some truth to that, and there's not. If it's getting to the point where it's toxic and it's eating at your spirit and soul, and you are literally dying inside, I say find something else that feeds you. Don't tie into the lie that you have to do something that's killing you.
No.
And I think we walk around and then we wonder why we snap, and we wonder why we're walking down these paths. Now, I'm not advocating for everybody to go quit their jobs either.
No.
But I'm saying align yourself with what your spirit is speaking to you and move in that direction. And Cortney, I just applaud you. And I applaud all those that are out there that are not wanting to, I often hear about millennials that, they're lazy and, they don't really want to work. They want everything to come to them. And I say that we should take a step back and maybe listen to them and really support them, and not being necessarily lazy, but finding that space that does speak to them, that can support them in the lane that they want to go in. Do you have anything you want to add to that, Courtney?
I just want to acknowledge too that I know for anyone who is in a place where they're feeling unhappy with their job, their career, I know that it's totally different too when you have people to take care of, right? Like I'm someone who I got me to take care of. So I know that makes a huge difference. I think it's really important to surround yourself with people who will support you and who are going to say like, yes, go do it. And when you're doubting yourself, like they'll be like, no, keep going. And then like being intentional about what you're doing, right? Like setting your intent. I don't know how many times people told me to write down what I want. And I was like, whatever. It wasn't until like last year that I started to write it down. And I'm not kidding. It's happening. And it feels better. It feels good to like look at it, look at what I've written down and be like, okay, it helps you to stay focused. So for people who are considering it, I'd say just, like surround yourself with people who are aligned with what you want in your life. And like magical stuff happens when you you practice it every single day. You look at what you wrote down every single day, like morning, night, or whenever throughout the day. I don't even know if that was related to what you just said, but
No, it was good. No, it's good.
Okay.
Right on track. You're right on time.
Okay.
And the lucky thing for me is because during the program one day, in one of the calls, Courtney announced that she quit her job. But everybody else on the call was so invigorated by her freedom. And you could feel like this weight being lifted off of her. And it empowered other people to do the same. I have another doctor, I'm not going to mention any names because I'll have her on in another time, who's doing the same thing and following her passion. But a lot of that happens specifically because of Courtney and what Courtney was speaking, that was speaking to her spirit at that particular time.
Yeah, we connected. That's the thing. Like when you start to speak it out loud, you'll find you're not the only one. You're going to find other people who are feeling that way too. And then you guys are going to do some powerful. Can I cuss? I feel like I'm not supposed to. I'm acting like we're on cable.
Because we're not sure who.
Well, I'm acting like we're on cable right now. It feels like it, but.
Damn! No, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. But that's the amazing, when you start to speak really what you want in your life, like me, I had never said that I'm a writer until like 2018 maybe. And I just started saying it and now people are like, oh yeah, Courtney, right? And I'm like, I sure do. But yeah.
Oh my God, she's a phenomenal writer. Well, one part of this story that we did not share with you is, and if you don't already know or not been to an event and I didn't announce it, I'll announce it now. I was looking for someone to join me on my team, and Courtney came to me and she's like, well, I'm kind of in between things. Would you consider me for your role of chief of staff? And of course, my answer was like, I dropped everything. Huh? Yes! Can you start right now?
Yeah.
So, it was, and she's been phenomenal. Her intelligence is just off the charts, first of all. And secondly, she brings such a power to the team that she's raised the bar for everybody on the team. And so I feel so honored to have her. But Courtney, just speaking to your fact about some of the things that we do as a team, we start every morning off with meditation.
Yeah.
Because it's something that we truly believe in. Setting your intentions, like Courtney said, for the day. And then also we set our intentions as a team, what it is that we're trying to put out in the way of products and services to you so that we can bring the best to you. And it's all about Black excellence. It's about us being our most audacious self in the world that we live in and really redefining and rewriting the narratives for our lives. And Courtney, you have done this as a doctor of forensic psychology, and she talks about writing. And let me go back to that because I'm so excited. You guys got to check out the blogs because they are going to be written. My blogs will be written by Dr. Cortney Beasley. So please check her work out. She's an amazing writer. Through the program, one girl was explaining some of the things that she was going through, and Courtney wrote this amazing piece. And if I haven't posted it, I will post it because it just touched my soul when she spoke it. I was like, where did that come from? Courtney, you might want to expand on it, like how you got that inspiration. as
Yeah.
a writer, as a writer.
Hey, writer. Yeah. So, without like talking about the person specifically, but yeah, it was a part of the 60-day program. And as in the program, you can have like one-on-one conversations within the group chat. And I've had conversations with different people, and I just like really like this. I think we were all pretty vulnerable, you know, with what we were going through. And so there were different conversations that came up. And one in particular, there was just one sentence that like triggered like all these emotions in me. And I just like wrote it. And I was like, all right, posting that. And that's the one you're speaking about.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. And the story, and I'll just give a little bit of more content around it. The story was about a young lady who went, African American, that went to live over in Korea. And she was there for like 7 years. And I don't know exactly, Courtney, so this part I'll need a little help with, because memory wise, just remembering it exactly, but she didn't feel at home in her own country, or she didn't feel at home, or nobody would notice her no matter where she was, or something of that nature.
Yeah, and
right?
I think, and of course, I turned it into my own thing. But this sense of like, what I identified the most with is like this relief that comes if no one knows you. Like I know when I travel, there's like a sense of freedom. Like I'll go to like open mic or something. I'm like, well, no one knows me here, so who cares? No one knows me at open mics here either. But I guess I just in my mind they do.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, I think it was speaking to that. Like I just want to go away from here, and also with the experiences that we have as Black women and not being treated, you know, with love here in our own country. So just like not even wanting to be like on this soil. Like I want to be somewhere else because I'll be treated better there than I am in my own country.
Yeah, exactly. And I just like, for me, that narrative doesn't work anymore. And what I refuse to do is, they say you can't take a peg and put it into a round hole. And so for me, that means that we need to start to rewrite this narrative and re-empower each other. And that's what my program is all about, helping us to have those breakthroughs and rewrite it. If, you know, I think I applaud all the women out there that are in corporations, that are entrepreneurs, that are out in the world like Courtney doing their thing. And so many of us don't get the recognition. And I just don't want one of us. There's not just one of us. There's a lot of us that are boss.
A lot.
And we all deserve to get that platform and get that recognition. Not just one person, there's a lot of us. Let me say a whole lot of us. And I'm about making that the narrative. Let's talk about that, Gabe. That's why I'm bringing Dr. Cortney Beasley to you, because she's 30 years old and she's killing it. And yes, she's deciding at this point in her life to do what's going to bring her the most happiness, and rewriting the narrative for her life that's breathing spirit and life into her. And I commend you for that. I'm only bummed in this moment. There's only one thing, Courtney, if I had to do it all over again, and I hope you will come back, Courtney. I hope I can interview you further along the line, maybe in another month or so.
Happening.
Because I didn't get I didn't get in this is questions and answers. And I really do want that. I'm going to switch over and see. I have an attendee. Hi, Victor. Hi, Victor. Can you ask a question?
Victor, put something in the chat. Give us one question.
Okay, I'm going to flip over, Courtney. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to flip over.
Okay.
And see. I can see everybody saying hello. I'm gonna type in here in Facebook. Hello. Any questions?
Or just like, yeah.
I know, and I'm a little. I misspelled questions, but y'all know what I mean. I'm so sorry. I can't type and chew gum and walk at the same time.
Victor is probably not even looking at the. You know what?
Green, yes. Like, can you ask? Can you ask? But we'll do a better job of how we post this in the future so that we can get interaction. But the thing I do want to say, Courtney, is that we came on board. It's like 30 minutes. I have so many more questions.
I know. I'm like, wait, I want to talk more.
Yeah, I know.
At first, I was like, I'm nervous. I was like, no.
No, because this is such great information. There's somebody out there that I know that is in a career that is no longer feeding you and there's toxicity and the people around you, they don't look like you, they don't understand you, they somehow want to make you wrong and you're not wrong. I think that what I'd like to say is that there are people who believe in you and people who want to support you. I'm definitely one of those individuals. And I really invite you to join us on this movement. Our goal in 2020 is to touch 50 million women. And this is a feat that I can't do by myself, but I know with a collective and a movement, I can do anything. And I invite you to join us as we really do make it a priority in the business that I'm doing is to rewrite this narrative and really create that platform and that environment where you can get the support and recognition that you need. So right now it's saying that my speaker is still not working. So was I coming across?
Throughout you, but I can hear you.
Okay, good. Because I don't know what that is. And I know that if I go to Facebook that I can't turn on the speaker because it will do, okay, when is your book coming out? Think about right. Rhonda, is that for me or is that for Courtney?
How about both?
Yeah, mine is coming. Cheryl Grant. Yeah, Courtney, can you help me with that? No, my book is coming out. Yes, definitely in 2020. Courtney, how about you?
We got a question. Woohoo! I don't know.
Yes, Courtney, when is your book coming?
My book is, should I just claim it right now?
Yes, why not?
And next year.
Courtney is an amazing writer, you guys. I can't wait for you. You have to start, follow me on CherylGrant.com. She'll be writing weekly and all of my blogs will be driven by Miss Dr. Cortney Beasley. So please do join us.
Yeah.
You didn't make writer, you didn't talk about that, writer.
What?
Both. Athena said both. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay.
But
Athena.
Next year. That sounds like a great plan. And also, like, I would love to do this again, Cheryl, because there's other stuff that I'm working on, just with my psychology related stuff. And
matter of fact, well, can we dig just a little bit, please? Because I really love that about what your idea is. First of all, before we even do that, you guys, because we're up on the, I know we were only supposed to be 30 minutes, but these two things I really need Courtney to share with you. One, Courtney, is talk about what you did your thesis study on.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So my dissertation is on how Black women's perception of a lack of Black men affects their health, right? Like depressive symptoms, if they're using more like substances, risky sex behaviors. And there was some other stuff in there too, but the biggest thing was that women who thought like, okay, there's not enough men out here, like they're like, no, like either they're all in prison or they're gay or they're whatever, then those women were more likely to report depressive symptoms. And so I wrote an article about that actually on queenmediacollective.com. And what I did was I took my dissertation results and I wrote it in a way that we can all understand, right? Like you don't need to have gone to school for psychology to be able to read it. And that's something I'm really passionate about and I want to do moving forward. So that's something people will definitely be able to like get from me soon, is like just more writing about stuff like that so that we all have access to it and it's not just staying in schools.
Now that's so real, Courtney, because okay, I divorced 4 years ago, and I can remember people coming up to me saying, "There's no men out here," and my happiness didn't depend upon that. My happiness depended upon me, but just that conversation in the psyche about there's not enough men. I mean, I can understand how that can make some women depressed, and I can understand how it can be a place of lack or a place of deprivation when that's not necessarily the reality, but it's what we create in the conversation that we speak, and over time, how that can get into our psyche, and then generationally, begin to transfer about how we operate as women in the world, right? And in our power. And I'm a firm believer And your happiness is never defined by somebody else.
Right.
You and only you are responsible for your happiness. If you can be happy with you, you can be happy with anybody. I mean, well, maybe not anybody, but if you can be happy with you, that's where it starts. That's where you find the right somebody. Let me say it that way.
Right. And it's
That's
not
where you find
so,
the
like,
right somebody.
dependent on other people or so changeable because it's already in you.
Right.
And there was something else I was going to say about that. Oh, and in the article that I wrote, it's, you know, I spoke a little bit more about just like the complexity of it too, because there's so much in that, just our relationships with Black men and the history of that and how that influences our relationships today. So read it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you guys, we gotta bring Courtney back on. Did you guys enjoy this? I just think this was so amazing. Courtney, this girl, I literally, we work together, but like I can talk to her 24/7, like all the time. Like our conversations can never end. It's like, but they're always good and they're always deep. I have to share this. I see there's always something else that I need to share.
Do it though.
Okay, so I took Courtney to an event because Courtney, she's my chief of staff. So she goes pretty much everywhere with me.
Yeah.
And one of the events that I took her to, I just found it really amazing. I'm not going to go into detail about the entire event, but what I do want to say about it is that when we walked away, I always ask her, you know, what do we learn from it and how can we grow from it? And one of the things that she said to me that just really made me step back, and she said, I found that a lot of the conversations were very superficial. She said there was a lot of deep information, but there was a lot of surface of just these superficial conversations. And Courtney, you remember saying that to me?
Yes. If you want me to speak more to that.
You can a little bit. Yeah, as much as you want. As much as you want.
I think that goes back to being intentional, right? Like not engaging in like silly conversations. Of course we all do it. Like I was just watching a reality show, 90 Day Fiance. Shout out to my cousin for getting me onto that. But I was watching it and then I kept talking about the people the whole time. And I'm like, Courtney, why are you talking about the people on the TV show? Leave them alone. But it's that same idea of just like engaging in like not a lot of nonsense when really our energy could be going to something else that's way more meaningful and way more fulfilling and satisfying. So I think it's, yeah.
But what it reminded me of and really made me take a step back, and especially as I'm showing up and especially as a leader and as we're walking into our lives and creating and being purposeful about what we're creating, is really engaging in meaningful conversation that really touches somebody's heart or inspires them or encourages them. We're so quick to judge people by how they look or what they wear or the color of their hair or what clothes they have on or don't have on or tattoos they have or don't have. And my thing is, everybody is human and everybody is going through life trying to be the most best person that they possibly can. And as a gift to them on our journey, and you see your fellow sister, and especially your fellow, I'm gonna say sister, Sistah. You know, I have to take my time with that, Courtney. I know you were paying attention. Courtney makes sure I dot all my I's and cross all my T's, and she's quick to point out when I don't. Athena, did she do that? I meant to talk to you about Courtney, but that's okay. That's
I don't think I did.
But sometimes all they need is a helping hand. And you could be the very person with your comment or not comment or your look or your stare that can push them over the edge. We are all traveling through this road called life. And we all have trials and tribulations. And the best thing we can ever do is lift a queen up, help her out, give her your best. Always be the most you can possibly be. And you'll never know when you need that gift in return. So I just want to leave everybody with that. It's 8:17. I think Courtney and I definitely overstood our time. We might have to extend these and make them an hour, you guys, but I really want to make them, I want these interviews to be a way to give you some insight as you're on your journey. And I hope something that Courtney and I have said today can be an encouragement to you about what's possible for you. This is a doctor of psychology that has decided to rewrite the story of what she's going to do in the world with her doctorate and not be defined by somebody who tells her she has to go walk down a path because why? Who gets to define that for her? She does. So Queen, I appreciate you. And I really love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening to us. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think. Your feedback is everything. Yes, please.
I imagined you at the end of each interview, I imagine you saying, so, Dr. Cortney Beasley, are you fit? And I'm like waiting for that moment so I can answer.
Okay, let's just include that. So, Dr. Cortney Beasley.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you a very compelling question.
Okay. What is it?
Are you fit? Are you fit for business?
I feel fit. Yes, I am.
You feel fit. Well, I'm gonna take it one step further.
Okay.
Since you asked me the question.
Okay.
Fit is faith, intuition, and tenacity.
Right.
In your words, tell me how you're fit.
Oh, dang. Okay. Well, okay. I think of especially this past year, which has been it's been a year of transformation for sure. Just allowing myself to step off this path that I thought I had to be on. And just getting more in touch with my spirituality in a way that I really don't think I felt this way in my adult life. So getting in that place and just really, like I'm ready to work for what I want and like really like feeling unafraid to put in the work to get what I want in this life and to really like I believe that I can have what I want too. So I'm feeling fit.
Hey y'all, I think she fit. I hope you think you fit. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Courtney. I love it, Dr. Beasley. You guys, please give her a round of hand. Courtney, thank you. You are the best. You are the best. I so appreciate you for being here. Yeah. And everybody, let us know what you think. We'll be bringing more of these to you every Thursday, but we're going to switch the time, right, Courtney?
Stay tuned.
Yes. Okay. Stay tuned. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Courtney Beasley.
Thank you. That was fun.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.